Hey, 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 hey. I don't know why I start that by every time. Hey, 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 hey. So, yesterday, let's do the happy dance. That's my happy dance. Look at this. You will see a massive spike 4 to 5. So where do these listeners come from? I don't know. We had absolutely tons. Look, it's 126 entry. 126 episodes we listened to. And that's amazing because we only had out yesterday 128. So somebody listened to every single one barring 2 of my episodes, which is phenomenal. 163 people listened to my interview. And if I'm honest with you guys, and I want to be vulnerable, and this is being vulnerable, the reason why, and don't get me wrong, I've interviewed other people on my podcast, on other podcasts, but it was my first one on this one. This is the one that I am really enjoying, loving, entrepreneurship. This is what I'm all about. And it kind of means more to me. And I interviewed my sister because it was an easy segue into interviewing. And I didn't know how many people would be interested in actually hearing from my sister, because she's my sister. And she started from nothing and she's started to build up an actual product, which is incredible. But she's still my sister, and it's people want to listen to authors and, people. Oh, I don't know. Did they want to hear that for them people who are miles away from them, or did they want to see and hear somebody who is just a little bit in front of where they are? And I don't know. Anyway, the stats speak for themselves. It was 163 listens on Samantha's podcast yesterday, which is getting back up there now. It's the daily episodes have increased. There's no doubt about it, that increased. And we've got to take into consideration that I put it on Facebook, I put it on YouTube, I put it on LinkedIn, and I put it on Insta. And so it's a big difference. We've got to include them as well. I mean, we got 500 views on Facebook on my personal profile page. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not a Facebook expert, and so I don't know what counts as a view on Facebook. I'll have to look it up. I don't know what counts as a view. Is it when someone just clicks it and then clicks off it? I don't know. But 507 people actually viewed the interview, which is incredible. On YouTube, I think we had 14. Yay! So if we add up all those as well, because they're downloads, they are people actually listening, because this is just one platform. This is just the podcasting platform. Now we're going with Motivated Entrepreneurs, and we've got the video. There's all the different platforms that we've got to add in for the listeners, for the downloads, because they all count as listeners. It's not just the podcasters you got to keep your eye on. But for the purpose of this, I'm only gonna, I will include them at some point when I get some sort of method and structure behind maybe my VA, counting them up at the end of the day. I don't know. So yesterday, 163, massive positive was over 400, massive positive the fact that somebody felt the need to listen to all the back catalogue, and it wasn't just one person. Look, 3 people, 2 people, 2 people, it's 2 people, 2 people, so it's 3 people, it's good, as you can see, I'm really happy. So we haven't actually done anything massive yet with a podcast. Hopefully we're getting there. I've just done my SOPs. How yesterday I spent all morning, and by the way, please, I should really do another video, but because I don't know how many people will still be listening right now, but if you've got to have your SOPs, it makes it so much easier. So I've got my virtual assistant now. She's got a checklist, and what she does, she knows that when there's an interview on a Wednesday, she has to do 3 snippets of the best bits, and she posts them at 8 a.m. or 9 a.m., 11 a.m. and then 2 p.m. So we post 3 different times on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Instagram, and then she knows what she's got to do in terms of absolutely everything. It's all structured. I'll actually show you my SOP. Just put it in here for now. And if anybody ever wants it, by the way, just let me know. So podcasting.co.uk, I've got my SOPs there written out, so she knows exactly what to do with this video. I send it there, it goes down to Dropbox, Motivated Entrepreneur, and so we've got SOPs, and she's designed it into a nice little checklist. And if anybody wants that, please let me know, and I can email you it straight out. So that's it. It's a really positive day yesterday, 4 to 5. Today, starting okay, 97, and it's 7:17. Let's have a look. Another 2. So we're at 99 at 7:19. So it could be a good day as well today. We'll have to wait and see. It's nice that we had that little blip, but now we've changed the name, and I thought we'd lose a lot of not clients. I thought we'd lose a lot of downloads, but we did in the first bit, but then, it seems to have bounced up. 70 already. Invest in yourself more than your career. Could probably, the headlines as well. Visa, something that I'm going to have to do. Our first interview with Samantha Robinson. That isn't a poor headline. That's a very, very poor headline. And it's like you're spinning so many plates, and it's the 80-20 principle. At the minute, I'm trying to focus on certain areas, but I'm going to have to start having a look at these titles, because don't get me wrong, they're okay, but we can do better in a lot of them. This one here, our first interview with Samantha Robinson. Nobody knows who Samantha Robinson is. Nobody cares if it's a first interview. They're just, what am I going to get out of it? What am I going to get out of this interview? What hook can we provide the people who are scrolling through the podcast? Because they'll have loads of podcasts. What we need to grab their attention and to make sure that our headline stands out, and compels them to press that play button. Okay, my friends, can't wait to do this tomorrow to see exactly how far we've come. And then I do believe in a week's time, we will be hitting those advertisements. We'll be smashing it. I'll tell you exactly how much money I'm putting in, what platforms and where, and how we're doing it. I can't wait to dive into this, because this, for me, the foundational work is the boring part. The foundation, making sure your bucket's got no holes in, that's quite boring. But it does take 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months to make sure everything is nailed and dialed in. Once the foundation is solid, once there's no holes in that bucket, then we can start really going forward and pushing the podcast. That's what I'm looking forward to, because there's no way in this day and age that very few people are going to be able to grow a podcast organically to massive numbers without putting some paid traffic behind it. Very few people. Maybe if you leverage other people's platforms as well, and you actually, and by the way, I've designed also an email template that we send the listeners, the people who have been on the podcast as well. That's all automated. My VA sends that the day before, and if you do want that, I can do a blog post, or I can put a PDF in there about asking them to share it, but in a nice way where we don't expect anything. We give them the snippets, and we try to make them look as good as possible in those snippets, because we want to piggyback on their audience. We want to borrow their audience. You build audiences, you buy audiences, or you borrow audiences. And the 3 Bs. And so we want to borrow their audience. Samantha Robinson, I want to borrow her audience. I want to make sure that people who listen to that episode, because Samantha pushed it out there, I want to make sure that they stay as well. So really looking forward to the future, guys, and we'll see what happens. Okay, do that. Sorry it's so long. Hopefully there's some golden nuggets in here and everyone's learning along the way. So let's keep smashing it. All right, do that. Speak to you later. Bye.